Yo, man, what's good, man? This is EC Pin Chow Podcast with one and only host, Glory Boy, back at it again with another banger, man. Thank you. So, yeah. So basically, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so. Because, I'm coming 2023 crazy, delivering the best contents for you guys. And my goal is to make sure I keep you guys updated on certain things. It's a podcast too, so I might have a couple people tuning in. We're gonna have a discussion here and there. So yeah, thank you for all the support and the love, man. But yeah, so now we're gonna jump straight into this video. So this is Andrew Tate's biggest hater. This man was online, just going after Andrew Tate, just talking, just debating on his point of views, just telling him, for example, he's not wrong. He's wrong, because he didn't agree with the way he was saying stuff, And so here, he's actually going to be talking about Andrew Tate's arrest. This is another update, like I told you. So he's one of his biggest haters. Let's see what he's got to say about the arrest. All right, so let's go.
That word would be Well, let's see what's in the news. There's this gentleman, I don't know if you've heard of him. He's getting a little attention lately. Andrew Tate. Have you heard of him? Well, he's allegedly arrested in Romania, where he resides. Now, here's what you should.
Winter is coming, and I want you to know that when it comes, I want you prepared. If all you do is focus on the business,
You should believe about this story. Nothing. So can we start off by saying that if you believe that I believe anything about the story, you don't know me. Of course I don't believe it. Am I going to have fun with it and pretend as though it's true? Oh, yes, I am. Of course I am. Do I believe it's true? Very unlikely. Hugely unlikely. So I'll tell you what I think is true, best guess. But we don't know, right? It's all fog of war and mirrors and bullshit and persuasion and counterclaims. And, there's corruption and lying, and there's his last arrest is being conflated with his new arrest. And there's stuff about Greta Thunberg and the pizza box, which totally was bullshit. How many of you believe that he was caught by the authorities because he showed a pizza box on TV that showed he was in Romania?
How many of you believe that? Comment below. But you know what?
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
And so that was how they knew to nab him. Did anybody think that was suspicious from the jump? No, of course that didn't happen. Widely reported? Yes. Did it happen? No. Right? But Greta treated it like it was real. So the story yesterday, which wasn't real, is that he was so dumb, he showed a pizza box that showed he was in country, so they picked him up, and why didn't he know not to do that, how dumb he is? So none of that's true. But Greta, being somewhat like me in this regard, decided to treat it as true because it's funny. So let's go with that. And she tweeted, "This is what happens when you don't recycle your pizza boxes." Because he was joking that he wasn't going to recycle his pizza box. And then he ended up in a Romanian jail like a few hours later. Greta's dunking on him. This is what happens when you don't recycle your pizza boxes. Now, do I believe that Greta comes up with her own Twitter jokes and tweets on her own? Of course not. Of course not. You know, I don't know. I mean, I don't rule it out. Don't rule it out. But it's a little bit too good. You know what I mean? You know, I'm a professional. I know what a professional tweet looks like. And while Greta has some game, she has some game for sure. Not quite there. This is a little bit better than her game. So I think she's got some help, but it must be qualified help because they're doing a good job. All right, now, one of the versions of the story is that the Tate brothers and two others were arrested, allegedly, for, let's see, Fox News is saying, as of this morning, assume all of this is going to change. Like everything you know about this will be different in an hour. But Fox News was reporting this morning that it was the raid was because they appear to have, the Tates, created an organized crime group with the purpose of recruiting, housing, and exploiting women by forcing them to create pornographic content meant to be seen on a specialized website, blah, blah. And then there's another rumor that rumor was completely false, and they were really brought in to discuss some kind of money laundering thing, which might be part of some larger investigation of which they would be just a part of it. In which case, they might not even be charged with anything. They might be just witnesses or people of interest or something like that. Now, is any of that true? Assume none of it's true. Just assume everything is untrue. That's your best position at the moment, because very little of it looks true to me. Now, you may have seen some videos. They showed them being arrested and then being released. Some of those are from the past, so those are not new videos, because they were picked up one other time and released. So you'll see they're wearing different clothing. You see one where he appears to have handcuffs, but I don't know if that's real. Who knows? Then they say that they found $10 million in cash in one of his homes. Is that real? Do you think if the most corrupt government in the world found $10 million of cash in an accused criminal's home, do you think that would be accurately reported? I mean, just ask.
Boom. That's true. I mean, where I'm from, listen up, man. Where I'm from, man, if they were to find that type of money, they're gonna kill you. They're gonna kill you and take the money. I mean, or they're just gonna release you right away and take the money. You're not gonna touch them. I mean, they're the authority, basically. You know, so you gotta understand, if there's a corrupt nation and they're out here arresting someone and they find that type of money, it won't be on the news. Nobody will ever know about the money. The money will be gone, will be taken into custody. Like, you will be in jail. That's it. That's the end of the story. You know, and they might even kill you. Excuse me. They might even kill you or do whatever with you. You know, it's up to them. But yeah, and I don't get how the story comes from sex trafficking to money laundering. I don't get it. I don't know. I just don't understand. I mean, they're trying their best to try and eliminate this man. You know, like take him off the face of the earth. You know, so that way he doesn't have the opportunity to voice his opinions anymore. Let's continue.
$10 million in untraceable cash, and they would report exactly how much they found. I mean, just think about it. Now, if they reported 10 and there was any money there at all, they found 20. You get that, right? If they really reported 10, and who knows if that's true, and they actually said, here's this 10 million, they probably found 20 Wink, wink. All right. Because one thing that nobody is questioning is that Romania is like the most corrupt place in the world. And even the Tates say that directly. They say they chose it because it's one of the most corrupt places in the world. And as long as you understand that and you have money, it works really well for you. Now, let me ask you this. In the most corrupt country in the world, let's say it's, one of the most, in one of the most corrupt countries in the world, if they pick you up and they know you have tens of millions of dollars, what are the odds that you will spend a day in jail? Just think about it. What are the odds that somebody with tens of millions of untraceable cash and probably crypto and everything else, what are the odds that that guy spends even one day in jail? Now, allegedly, he was in some kind of jail last night. Do you believe he was behind bars last night? Maybe. I don't know one way or another, but it seems highly unlikely to me. The most likely outcome is that they handcuffed him, brought him into the police facility, and they said, let's talk behind this closed door. And then he would go behind the closed door with somebody who was looking for a very big bribe, and the person looking for the very big bribe would negotiate with him. And they'd say, all right, we have to sort of pretend we're a real police force, so we'll probably keep you here for a few hours, but then we'll release you so it looks like we actually did something. But thanks for the $10 million. Why in the world would anybody in the police force not try to shake him down? Apparently there's nothing to stop everybody in power from collecting bribes. That seems to be generally understood. So does anybody think he's going to go to jail in Romania? It's probably the safest place he could ever be. In fact, I would argue that the safest place Andrew Tate could be in the entire planet Earth would be arrested, allegedly, inside a Romanian police force. In theory, those are the people he owns, or will own in about 5 minutes. Now, here's something else that has to be injected into the story. Oh, and let me say directly, innocent until proven guilty. Now, you all know that I'm no fan of the Tates, right? Everybody knows that. So I'm not a supporter. I would love to see him go down because he's a bad human being, and I have personal interaction that would be good enough for me to be happy if something bad happened to him. But he's innocent until proven guilty, and I've not seen anything that would change my mind on that. Now, do I think it's unlikely that there's any illegality going on?
You know what? I respect this guy. I respect this guy because, think about it. You can hold grudges towards someone, but if something was to happen to them and there's nothing yet has been said that is true, you can't just try and put that person down. You're innocent till proven guilty. And it shows that this man has some sort of more understanding of, just respecting another human being, He might dislike or he might disagree with the person's opinions, but in the end, he will still be able to understand the fact that, okay, this person is in jail. Okay, what did they do? Nothing. Okay, so I have nothing against them, to say they're in jail, or start pushing fake news to try and just bash that person. But him saying that, he's innocent till proven guilty it's real thing, Real. Let's continue.
I would say he's sending strong signals that there's something going on. Yeah, if you were to look for glaring signals, there's a little bit too much unexplained cash floating around in that situation. Am I right? So if he can explain how he has access to so much cash, good luck with that. Good luck with that. But the fact is, there's no evidence of a crime. Having a lot of money is not evidence of a crime. Now, I heard on a Spaces show last night, an expert on financial crimes, who was also an expert on the subcategory of trafficking. Because there's usually a way to catch traffickers is you can catch them through their financial transactions. Now, that expert said, ooh, everything about this fits the pattern of some trafficker. Maybe, but that doesn't mean he committed a crime. Now, here's where it's going to get really interesting. If it turns out he's accused of, let's say, any kind of forced sexual activity, or forcing anybody to do anything sexual, or there are videos of him, having paddled or whipped women, and there's some ambiguity about their participation in it, or whether they participated like at a small level, but he took it too far, which would also be a problem. So there's some ambiguity there. But here's what you don't know. You know he's trained by a hypnotist, right? Do you all know that? It's not an accident that he's the biggest thing on the internet. He has the actual skills. He's actually been trained. How many of you knew that? That he's got Trump-level skills, but actually trained by a hypnotist. Now, if you put Tate in a court, I just don't think he can get convicted. And I hate to say this, but his skill level is so high that I don't think he could be jailed. I know that's a big claim, but he has the ability to bend reality so well because he's learned specific skills, right? It's not like a native ability. It's not just that he's a bully. He has actual skills. So his skill stack for manipulation and persuasion is off the chart. Like he might be exceeding my own abilities here, because he's very cleverly added the macho alpha thing. So if you had the alpha thing, the whole persona, if you add that to a persuasion stack, it really does double it, right? And I don't have that going on. And it would be similar to a beautiful woman who also added to her capabilities persuasion. That would be so far beyond what just any normal person who knows persuasion could do. So because of his physicality, which is impressive, and that persona he's created, and then the fame and the following that he's created, he has more power than most court systems. I think he could be, hypothetically, dead guilty for a crime and wouldn't have much of a chance of going to jail at all. Not at all. See, between the money and the corruption, and even if you assumed he was wrongly accused, he would still walk free because his talent level is at that level. If you don't see it, it's because you're not trained in persuasion. Now, so I don't think he had a bad night last night necessarily. Maybe, might surprise me. But don't even assume he had a bad night. He may have had a perfectly good night last night. He may have had more sex last night than most of you. Because if you don't think he could have had sex inside the police station on the night that he was supposed to be in jail, if you don't think he could have gotten a girl in there and had sex with her in the police station, then you haven't been paying attention. He totally could do that. All right? I don't know, and I'm not saying he did. I'm saying that if you're in the most corrupt country and you have tens of millions of dollars of free cash, and this is only rumored, I'm not making this claim, is rumored, you might have some connection to organized crime in Romania. If you're connected to organized crime, the only way you're going to stay down is if they want you to. So it's possible that he pissed off somebody that he works with, right? That would be a different situation. That would be dangerous. But if it's just the police pretending to arrest him, I don't know. He's not in much trouble.